1969, we did that. 1969, we did that. If we could do that in 1969, what can't you do? That dream you have, that vision, that goal that seems out of reach that you don't want to go for, it pales in comparison to what we accomplished in 1969. Those obstacles that you face that you don't think you can surmount, it pales in comparison to the obstacles that we overcame in 1969. With a strong dream, a vision, and the courage to go after it, you could do anything. You could do the impossible. Now that's embedded inside of the lunar landing lesson. So that's what they're hearing from me. Now, there's other ones on that same day. Like, for instance, when I talked to them about how you're going to see the Earth from outer space, and how that should provide them a paradigm shift. Because when you see the Earth from outer space, you realize that this is absolutely amazing. We are living on a blue ball hurtling through the universe. It's just amazing to be alive. Like, when you think that we're just living on a blue ball hurtling through the universe, when you pull back and look at it from that perspective, and then you think about the petty differences between people that we get concerned with, the things that we think that we're all stressed out about in life, and third period, or what that girl said, or the difference between me and you, or the school that's next to us, or all that kind of stuff, it just seems ridiculous, the kind of things that we get wrapped up in when you pull back like that. When you see us as living on a blue ball hurtling through the universe, you wake up in the morning and you realize that what an incredible gift this is, and it is just absolutely and completely amazing to be alive. And so that kind of thing is embedded into the lunar landing lesson as well. And when you start to look at education like this, it becomes really easy to get pumped up to come to school in the morning, because now it's not just about raising test scores, it's about raising human potential, which is what we're really here for. We are in a life-changing business. So we didn't get into this business just to make better Trivial Pursuit players, right? We got into this business because we are transforming people's lives. And so that perspective on education and teaching is something that when you hold that and commit to that, it becomes really easy to get up in the morning and do what we do.
Awesome. Yay.
Awesome.
Great advice. You said that this morning, and then just now, you're saying these little problems that we have and we should be thankful for it. I don't know if you've ever heard of this book, Dave, but it's called My Grandma Follows Me on Twitter, and Other First World Problems We're Lucky to Have. Have you heard that one?
I haven't heard that one.
Well, my daughter went to a We Day. Have you heard of We Day? It's where kids gather together and they have this inspirational day with bands and everything. But she picked this up because she knew how much I love Twitter. But let's see, can you see that?
Oh, yeah, I can see it. That's pretty funny.
It is, because there's, you think about it, really, that's a problem for us. That's nothing compared to what other people have. So
a connected grandma?
Yeah, that's right. I'm a connected grandma. That's why she got it, because I love Twitter and I'm a grandma. So, all right. Anybody else have another question?
We have another one back here.
Oh, back here. Oh, they're liking it back there. Okay. Does someone else want to ask it, or I have all three of you? Have you asked one yet, Britta?
No,
Okay,
we've been going down the row.
Oh, let me say hello, because I hear you look like you're way far away.
I'm Britta. Our question.
He's measuring you. He like this.
Britta's like half an inch tall.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty close.
She is kind of short, so they just said pretty much,
One of our questions was, what do you find to be your greatest challenge teaching?
My greatest challenge, so I'm a work in progress. Just like everybody, you're going to be, and this is one of the myths of teaching, is that you're going to hit some point where all of a sudden you're going to have everything figured out and everything's going to run smooth. And it will never, ever work that way. You will always be a work in progress. You will always have lessons that fail, that blow up. So I'll give you two or three things that are challenges for me. One, I'm still definitely a work in progress with trying to incorporate the use of technology, especially in the hands of my kids. So I'm learning. I have some mentors and some colleagues that are excellent at that. And so that's something that I'm trying to get better at. I'm also a work in progress when it comes to, if my lessons screw up, this tends to be the way that they screw up. I will get them so ramped up that then it's hard to bring them back down to do whatever it is that we need to do as far as the content is concerned. So my problem usually these days is not bored kids or disengaged kids. My problem is usually kids that are jumping out of their skins, and I want them to calm down a little bit actually sometimes. So I kind of tend towards the falling off the edge the other way. So I'm kind of walking that fine line all of the time. And what's another one of my challenges? Another one of my challenges is, I would say those are the main two. I would love to get better at the use of technology.
Thank you. Someone else? I don't think you've seen Steph over here. Look at her hat. Say hello, Steph.
Oh.
Hi.
Hello, nice.
Who else has a question for him?
I mean,
Come on, bring it.
We got
more, but other people have questions.
All right, Sarah's gonna go, and then we'll have Haley go.
Okay.
Stand up, Sarah. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and then my question was, how do you incorporate your extravagant lessons with the school-specific curriculum? How do you make that incorporated with the school's set curriculum?
Okay. Try happens to be how confrontational to be with this answer. Let's see. All right. Most of the Teach Like a Pirate stuff is not in any way in conflict with teaching the standards or teaching the curriculum or anything like that. I look at teaching as a triple Venn diagram, as I mentioned in the book. And we have our content circle, and you have to have your content circle in your classroom, or else you are a babysitter or an entertainer, right? We have to have that content circle. Those are the standards that we're supposed to teach. So you're going to share that with your colleagues and people on your team and all that. And then there's a second circle, which is your techniques and your methods that you learn in your teacher credential programs and through your colleagues and your team and things that you pick up at conferences and all that. And a lot of that stuff is going to maybe even be shared. But then there's the third circle, the circle that nobody wants to talk about. And that third circle is presentation. How are you going to present that content so that people want to be engaged by it and to pay attention to what you're saying and listen? Because the simple fact of the matter is that it does not matter one single bit what it is that you teach if nobody's listening. So the Teach Like a Pirate system in many cases is addressing that third circle. And that's why, for instance, this Teach Like a Pirate workshop, I do it for all content areas, all grade levels, K through 12, or even into universities, because it's really not about the content. Like, I'm not anti-content. I teach content every day. It's just that when I come to do a workshop for you, that's not what I'm there to talk to you about. I'm there to talk to you about the third circle. You're responsible to know your content. I'm the one that's there to help you present it in such a way that they'll receive it and get it. So, and by the way, that third circle is also your opportunity to add you into your lesson. I believe that what is unique about you, your particular strengths and talents, your unique voice that you add to your class is what makes you most powerful and effective in front of kids. And so even if you're in a situation where you have a very set curriculum that you have to deliver, even if you're a part of a team that is very set in its ways, that's the content. You still have presentational decisions that you can make in your room where you can add those Teach Like a Pirate style hooks to what you do.
So can I ask a favor right here, since this kind of fits into that? Can you demonstrate for us, the presentation of, what was your curriculum? Was it the...
the mystery bag?
The mystery bag, yes, that's one of your hooks that you're talking about, but that could kind of fit this too, because your presentation, your standard or your objectives or whatever was that era or that time, that's part of your curriculum, so
Yeah.
This could be a good time for you to show the mystery bag and how you taught that.
Okay, so this is going to make you wildly uncomfortable, some of you. This is a presentation that you might want to save till you have tenure. But you have to understand, my students are 16, 17 years old, and in San Diego, California, so you have to think about the age you teach and the community you teach in. So it would go something like this. What I'm gonna show you today is, just to be honest with you, is totally inappropriate for school. It's far too sexual. I mean, in fact, it's downright kinky. Okay? Now, I probably shouldn't do this. Well, I'm just going to ask you to kind of raise the maturity level of the group a little bit today for this reason, because this is the kind of stuff that gets teachers fired. So, well, I guess I'll just pull it out. First, Ashley, will you close the blinds? All right, perfect, thank you. I don't know if you can see it, but that's a Fredericks of Hollywood backpack. Oh my God, that is hot. Okay, there's gonna be no bathroom passes for 10 minutes. Not sure how to pick these things up. Here we go. It's hard to say what side's up and what side's down on these things. Why would somebody burn a bra? Well, what does a bra do? Now hold on, I'm back with you guys for a second. When you ask a question like that, you better be ready for a really graphic answer from the last round in the back. You can't get him in trouble right now, or you lose rapport with him and your class because people sense the unfairness of what just happened. You teased this out, said it was sexual, all that. Then you ask this question and he gives you a really graphic answer. You have to acknowledge and redirect. Like, oh, that's funny, but seriously, what does a bra do? No, I heard you. I might even use that next period, but what does a bra do? And then they realize that you're serious, and then people are going to say things, well, like, hold your breast back and restrain your breast, like this kind of a thing. And I'll say, well, you know what? What did we just learn about in the 1950s that maybe made women feel like they were being restrained or held back in some way? Oh, good, the baby boom, okay, the growth of the suburbs, and blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? In the 1960s, there was a backlash against some of these conservative values of the 50s. And one of the symbolic gestures that some women took was to, and then I'll talk about the symbolic nature of a bra burning rally. And this is my hook to lead into the women's liberation movement lessons of the 1960s era in my class, okay? Now, there's a couple things that are really important about this. First of all, I don't care if the superintendent of schools walks in right now. Yes, there will be an awkward moment. What they will hear is an entirely appropriate historical discussion with much information generated from my students about 1950s events impacting women, and then me talking about this backlash and taking us towards this new unit of the 60s that we're going to do. So you can position material in a way that's taboo, in a way that's maybe something that might seem like it's going to be inappropriate or secretive or little known, or because the fact of the matter is, if someone tells you you're not supposed to hear something, you will knock down walls to hear it. Okay? That's just human nature. Part of the Teach Like a Pirate system is taking things that we know that are engaging in human nature and then relentlessly seeking ways to apply that moment to our class and to our lessons for our benefit, okay? So that's one thing that's going on here. Now, the other thing that's going on here, I'm going to redo this, I'm going to redo the reveal for you, and then you tell me what you think about this one, all right? Check this out. Laughter, laughter, laughter. Why would somebody burn a bra? Is that as good?
No.
No.
No, it was was horrible because there was a transition in between the peak moment of engagement and the key content. You want to deliver your key content at the peak moment of engagement, and any separation of those two moments is a loss of power of your lesson. And so I'm looking for a magical moment. The magical moment is this. The magical moment is where kids are laughing or having fun and all this, and then all of a sudden, sometimes it's verbally expressed, sometimes it's just body language, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's teaching us. I love that moment. Oh, I wasn't going to learn today. Oh, that sneaky man. Like, oh. And so I'm always trying to create that tipping point where they don't see it coming, and like it's like a sucker punch. And like we're having fun, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I just learned. No. All of this, and I'm going to get educated. So I love to create that moment, and you do that by getting rid of your transitions and smoothing out your transitions. Transitions will kill you. Transitions are when the behavior problems happen. Transitions are when you have to go back after you in front of the audience and go to the effort to re-engage them all over again. The example I think I use in the book is that, like for instance, a teacher tells, I see this all the time, a teacher tells like a wonderful story. It has people on the edge of their seats and they're totally into it, and then they finish the story, everyone's like this, and then they say, okay, let me pass it out these papers and then we're going to get started. And then they take 3 minutes passing papers down the row, and then by the time that they get back up to the front again, the kids are gone. They've lost it, and the moment is gone. They created a moment, and then they squandered the moment. So we want to smooth and get rid of those transitions. Now, what you saw with the bag is an incorporation of 2 different hooks. One, the taboo hook, where you position content as if maybe it's a little controversial or something that draws people in by human nature. And then the other thing is it's a mystery bag hook or a mystery box hook. And it's the idea that I'm hiding something from you, and I'm kind of teasing you about it, and I'm building up some suspense about what's inside of this thing. And then at the moment that I go like this and start to pull it out, you know that every single eye in the room is going to be on you, because it's human nature. They want to see what's coming out of the bag. That's the way that, like, for instance, Christmas presents work. The thing that we do to Christmas presents to make them more engaging is what? We wrap them. If they were all unopened under the tree for a couple of weeks ahead of time, it wouldn't be a big deal to come out on Christmas morning. The idea that it's wrapped is why it is so engaging, because you want to know what's inside of it, and you don't. So you pick it up, you see how heavy it is, you shake it, and all of that. And so that mystery bag and the taboo hook have been combined together there, and then that's how I will open up on the day that I do Women's Liberation.
And that's your presentation of your curriculum. So there you go, Sarah. That was a great answer. All right, Haley was next. She wanted to ask a question, so we'll let you go next. Wave and say hello, Haley.
Hi, I'm Haley. My question.
Hi.
Hi. My question is, who have you looked up to and learned from in your career, and who are people that we should be taking notes from as we're preparing to be a teacher?
Okay, well, certainly you're taking notes from Wendy, right?
Yes.
All right, so there's, I'll tackle that from a couple of different standpoints. First of all, I believe in reading widely. I think that teachers spend too much time reading, too much time in the education section of the bookstore, and their reading is just education books. And I think you should read wider than that. I spend a lot of time, I've learned a lot from success literature, motivational books. I've learned a lot from sales and marketing books. A lot of what we do is sales and marketing. We have a message that we're trying to deliver to our students, that we're trying to get. We have a life transformational product that we want them to buy, which is education. And so knowing the techniques of marketers and salesmen is important, I think. I have been influenced by people. I spent 3 summers of my life as a young kid working as a coach and a counselor at the John Wooden basketball camps. So John Wooden was the person that had an influence on my life. I talked about him and his definition of success in the, it's one of the parts of the book that's talking about comparing education to fantasy football, I think. And you don't, life isn't 100% or fail, I think it's called, that section of the book. And I've been influenced by people like Seth Godin, expert and he's written some great books that influenced me. And in addition to that, I've also been influenced by some people like Anthony Robbins, people make